The Lost Gospel of Philip. The Veil of Hidden Truths. What if the truth you've clung to your entire life was just a veil, a fragile curtain hiding a revelation so profound it could shatter the foundations of your world? The Lost Gospel of Philip isn't just a forgotten text. It's a whisper from the shadows, a voice that refuses to be silenced. Have you ever felt a stirring, a quiet unease that the stories you've been fed don't quite hold together? That discomfort isn't random. It's a signal, a pulse from something ancient, something buried, calling you to dig deeper. This gospel doesn't offer comfort. It offers questions, sharp and unrelenting, that pierce the heart of what you call faith. Why would a text be hidden, locked away in the dust of centuries, unless it carried truths too dangerous to be spoken? Picture a world where the divine isn't a distant ruler on a throne, but a fire in your veins. A secret so intimate it could unravel everything you've been taught. Can you feel the weight of that possibility? It's not a story. It's a mirror reflecting the questions you've buried in the quiet corners of your soul. The Gospel of Philip doesn't preach. It provokes, like a spark threatening to ignite a fire that's been smoldering for millennia. What if you've been standing on the edge of this truth your whole life, too afraid to leap? Each word in this gospel is a challenge, daring you to step into the unknown, where the divine isn't a doctrine but a living, breathing force. This isn't for the faint. It's for those who crave truth no matter how much it burns. Imagine holding a key to a door you didn't know existed, a door that leads to a version of yourself you've never met. Are you ready to turn it, or will you let the fear of the unknown keep you chained? The Gospel's mysteries aren't just ideas. They're a call to wake up, to see the divine not in temples or texts but in the raw, messy pulse of your own existence. Every sentence is a step closer to something bigger, something that could change everything. Can you hear it calling, or will you turn away, clinging to the safety of half-truths? This journey isn't about answers. It's about the courage to ask. Hold your breath, because what comes next could redefine everything you thought you knew. The wound of forgotten tombs. The air grows thick when you speak of Philip's gospel, as if the words themselves carry the weight of forgotten tombs. This isn't a book you read, it's a wound you touch, a scar that aches with truths too raw to be tamed. Its verses don't soothe, they unsettle, like a voice whispering in the dark, daring you to listen. What kind of truth needs to be buried, hidden from the light for centuries? Imagine a text that doesn't bow to the gods of temples but dances with the divine in the human heart. It speaks of love, not the fleeting kind, but a cosmic force that binds the soul to the eternal. Have you ever loved so fiercely it felt like rebellion? That's the love this gospel unveils, a love that doesn't kneel, a love that questions the very heavens. But why was it silenced? Was it too wild, too human, too close to the core of what it means to be alive? Each line is a thread, pulling you deeper into a labyrinth where the divine and the mortal collide. You can't help but wonder, what did they fear? The Gospel's words are like keys to a door you didn't know existed, a door that leads to a truth so potent it could topple empires. Can you feel the tension building, the questions piling up like stones? What are you afraid to find? The Gospel of Philip doesn't offer salvation. It offers a mirror, and in that mirror, you see not just yourself, but the secrets the world tried to bury. It's not a gentle invitation, it's a challenge, a dare to step closer to the edge. The divine isn't up there, distant and untouchable. It's in the marrow of your bones, in the sweat and tears of your existence. Are you brave enough to face what's been hidden, or will you let the silence win? Each step into this gospel is a step into yourself, into the parts you've ignored, the parts you've been taught to fear, the storm of sacred fire. The Gospel of Philip doesn't unfold like a story. It erupts like a storm, wild and untamed, tearing through the lies you've worn like armor. Its words don't sit quietly on the page. They claw at your edges, demanding you feel their weight. This is a gospel that speaks of the sacred not as a distant star but as a fire in your chest, burning through the illusions you've built. What does it mean to be divine? Not perfect, not pure, but raw, flawed, and fiercely alive. Have you ever stood at the edge of yourself, staring into the abyss of your own contradictions? That's where Philip's gospel lives, in the tension between who you are and who you could be. It doesn't promise answers, it promises a reckoning. Why would a text like this be lost unless it threatened the foundations of power? Its verses speak of a divine spark in every soul, a spark that doesn't need a priest or a temple to burn. Can you imagine a truth so dangerous it could rewrite the rules of the world? The gospel's mysteries are like a current pulling you deeper and you can't fight it. You're not just reading. You're remembering, unearthing something ancient, something you've always known but were taught to forget. Each word is a step into the unknown, a place where the sacred isn't a destination but a journey. The questions keep coming, each one heavier than the last. What are you running from? The Gospel of Philip doesn't comfort, it challenges, stripping you bare until you're left with nothing but the truth. Can you feel it? The way it shifts something inside you? It's not about finding God. It's about finding yourself in the chaos of the divine. Are you ready to face that reflection, or will you keep hiding from the spark within? The pulse of eternal longing. There's a rhythm in the Gospel of Philip, a pulse that feels like your own heartbeat but older, heavier, laced with the grief of truths forgotten. This isn't a gospel that comforts, it unsettles, like a dream you can't shake, a memory that lingers in the quiet moments when you're alone. It speaks of the divine as a lover, not a judge, a presence so close it could break you. Have you ever felt a longing so deep it scared you? That's the longing this gospel unearths, a hunger for a truth that doesn't fit in books or sermons, a truth that lives in the dirt, in the sweat, in the messy, beautiful chaos of being human. Its words are dangerous, not because they're forbidden, but because they're true. They strip away the lies you've carried, leaving you raw, exposed, but strangely alive. Why was this gospel buried? Was it because it saw the divine in the flaws, in the fractures, in the moments when you feel most broken? Each verse is a step deeper, a call to wake up, to see the sacred not in the sky, but in the mirror. Can you feel the weight of it, the way it presses against your chest? The Gospel of Philip doesn't resolve, it provokes, planting seeds that grow in the silence. You're not just listening, you're unraveling piece by piece until you're left with the truth you've been running from. What are you afraid to see? The Gospel's mysteries aren't answers, they're echoes, resonating with the questions you've carried your whole life. Are you ready to listen? Or will you let the fear of the unknown keep you small? This is a journey into the heart of what it means to be alive, to be divine, to be you. Will you answer the call, or will you let the silence swallow it whole? The echo of unnamed truths. The lost Gospel of Philip doesn't end. It lingers, like a song you can't unhear, a truth you can't unlearn. Its words don't tie up neatly. They echo, planting seeds that take root in the quiet corners of your soul. This is a gospel that doesn't belong to the past. It belongs to you, to the doubts you've silenced, to the questions you've buried. It's not about finding answers. It's about finding yourself in the chaos of the divine. Have you ever felt like you were more than your skin, more than your story? That's the truth Philip's gospel whispers. A truth so big it could swallow you whole. As you stand at the edge of its mysteries, you feel the weight of everything left unsaid, everything left undone. The gospel doesn't close the circle. It breaks it open, leaving you raw, awake, and strangely whole. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of something you can't unsee, something you can't unfeel. The divine isn't out there. It's in you, in the fractures, in the fire, in the fierce, beautiful mess of being human. And now that you've heard it, you can't go back. If this journey stirred something in you, let it live on. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, leave a comment with the questions it sparked, and subscribe to keep unraveling the truths that have been hidden too long. The gospel is calling, not with answers but with a challenge, to live, to question, to burn with the truth. Will you answer, or will you let it fade into the silence?